Guthrie, and I have the very unique pleasure of having a co-host today who's a very good friend of mine who is loved by his family and feared by his enemies, Mr. Steve Lauten. Steve is the owner of Total Air and Heat, and he's my very good friend for many, many years. And we've, hello, welcome.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm awesome. How about you?
Hey, man, I'm good.
Beautiful weekend.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I wanted to start out with today's theme for the day is make a stranger smile today.
There you go, Alex.
That's nice.
Just listening to you makes me smile.
Oh, baby. I love it. I love it. Checks in the mail. We want to extend our thoughts and prayers to our brothers and sisters in Virginia Beach, Virginia. They had a horrible tragedy yesterday. You're in our thoughts or in our prayers, and we're all Virginians today. So sorry to see another town go through such a tragedy.
It's a shame.
So that's our downer note for the day. And we have a great show today. We're going to talk about some issues one big issue we're going to talk a lot about later in the show about a law that is being sunsetted in that the state has decided to let sunset. And what that means, they allow it to go away. They don't refund the department. They don't reinstitute it, which is a process that in the state of Texas we do every 2 years, or really every 18 months. We have a new legislature.
Right. In this instance, the Sunset Commission happens every 10 years.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
Right.
Well, you know more about that than I do. All I know is that they let it go away.
And it's really astounding that they could let something so vital just go away.
And so we're going to talk about that later. We're going to have our my also longtime plumber and friend, Scott Ridell. He's going to be on with us at 9:30. We're all going to discuss this. Steve is also, you got a plumbing division in your company, right?
I don't really have a plumbing division, so to speak, but working in air conditioning, we attach to the plumbing, and, an air conditioning guy's kind of like a electrician, a plumber, and an air conditioning guy all combined. So
no doubt.
We have to deal with all of that.
But first, as most Saturdays, we're green tip. And our green tip, I actually did this a couple of weeks ago, but I never got around to the grip because I was busy doing other things, but I really love this one. This is brought to you by Hargrave Foundation Repair, the original Hargrave 13 natural solutions for killing and deterring ants. Now, what I really loved about this, all of these tips come from women. They're practical and they smell good. I mean, if you're an ant and you have to die, you might as well die smelling something good.
That's right.
Right. So we'll start out here with, this is from Kimmy Harris. This is lemon juice. She just uses lemon juice. She says, we just spray around the open. Oh, this is Teresa. This is one of the comments to this article. This is from Teresa. We just spray around the openings with pure lemon juice, and it always works. That's because first they were in the margarita. You go to the margarita, eat a little sugar off the edge, go get a little of that lemon juice, chase that stuff down, Okay. Cinnamon. This is from Shayla. Shayla says, we use ground cinnamon around here. It works really well. Ground cinnamon. And Jean says that she uses cinnamon and cloves.
Isn't there a song that has that in it too?
A song?
Yeah, cinnamon and clover.
There is. That's right. I didn't know that was about ants.
I didn't either.
I thought it was a love song from the 60s. Gene says, make your house smell nice, and the ants just hate it, sprinkled right in their path. I'm not so sure, Gene. You'll have to prove that one to me. I think Steve's right. They kind of go into rock and roll mode. Peppermint oil around the windows and doors. This is doesn't have a name. Peppermint oil around the windows and doors. How's it that women always come up with these really good smelling solutions to these problems? I love it.
They're probably using to drive away their pesky husbands, you know.
Borax, water, and sugar. That is so cruel.
Well, I guess the thing that it really surprises me about that is every time I've been on a picnic and we've had anything with sugar in it, the ants show up.
Right. So this is Christy. She mixes the borax, sugar, water, and a touch of peanut butter just to, give them that extra little.
Once they're in it, they can't get loose. Yeah.
Makes their tongue stick to their mouth. It takes a couple of weeks, but it really works. Most people aren't going to wait a couple of weeks, but okay. We used it last year in our old house and are implementing it again this spring in our new house. Pesky ants. Here is, then she's got the site she found. Okay. Boiling water and dish soap. That's like the old days.
We're going to kill them and make them clean while we do it.
Sanitize it. And then we can eat them. This is from Jenny. We make sure all of our food is sealed up. The honey jar is usually the biggest ant magnet. So it gets a thorough washing and then is placed in a small water-filled saucer on the cupboard. We use a spray bottle filled with water and a squirt of liquid dish soap. She uses 7th generation. I have no idea what that is. To kill any visible ants. I also look around outside and try and find their hill, pouring a kettle of boiling water on it. And then I listen to him scream in pain and I yell, die, you little 6-legged sucker.
I used to use them when I was a little kid. I used to use a magnifying glass and kind of the sun to zap them.
You were one of those kids.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I never knew that. Diatomaceous earth.
That one I agrees with. It works on a lot of bugs.
Diatomaceous earth. And that's always been a natural bug deterrent. So this is from Karen.
Yeah. And diatomaceous earth, they kind of like walk across it and it slices them and dices them. Yeah. It's, it's natural.
So it's got crystals or something in it?
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
If you look under a magnifying
glass. Little
glass,
miniature knives, micro knives.
Well, that's what, diatomaceous earth is mainly used in pool filters.
Swimming pools.
Right.
She uses a food grade.
Oh.
I didn't know there was a food grade.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Not the swimming pool DE. It's called DE. It should be sprinkled around the perimeter of your new home, and you can also safely sprinkle it inside. Oh, that's the food grade part.
Well, pest control people, when they got that little puffer deal they use, like up in your attic, they're just puffing out diatomaceous earth.
I didn't know that. I thought it was something else. Chalk.
I love this one. Don't cross this line.
Do not cross this line. This is the ant line of death. Try a line of chalk around the entrance. But just put the kids out there with their chalk.
Yeah.
No more ants.
Hey, I need you to kind of color up a bit. They got to draw straight lines.
Just draw an ant right there, right in front of the door. See if you can fool them. Draw a line and chalk around the entrance where you think ants are getting in. This is from up, and they will not cross a line drawn in chalk. I drew a line around my window where they were coming in. She drew, and it kept them at bay. Oh, a bay window. I get it. They went to the bay window.
Mm-hmm.
Baking soda and powdered sugar. Women all have a sweet tooth. Now the baking soda, I get that's kind of old. That's an old remedy.
Sugar attracts them.
The sugar, yeah. That's cruel. This is from Jennifer. She says ants carry an acidic substance with them always for protection. I do a mix of baking soda and powdered sugar in a plastic lid set in a strategic place. And I think a little volcanic science experiment happens inside their bodies. Does she watch them with the magnifying glass like you did and
I don't know.
watch them like implode?
Well, maybe.
Coffee grounds. This is from Leah. I have had success with used coffee grounds. I did not know where they're in, but after putting it in the cracks, they never returned. Man, I don't like decaf.
I've got a great story about coffee grounds. And coffee in general. My wife at our lake house has started this little area. She calls her worm farm.
Oh, yeah.
And we throw leftovers in it, and apparently coffee grounds and coffee's good for them too. Well, one time she went out there and she's showing her cousin about this, and they were all squirming and stuff, and the coffee was still hot. That doesn't work, and they're trying to get away.
But you can eat them. You know? Yeah. They just have a nice little coffee flavor. This is what I had for breakfast this morning. This is from Rebecca. She uses cream of wheat. Heck, if I'd known it was that bad for me, I wouldn't have eaten it this morning. They eat it and it expands and they explode. That's been my problem. It's that cream of wheat. I used it in my garden for ant problems. Kind of makes you wonder, what does our insides look like when we eat it too? This is what she wrote in this.
Well, most of the time now they won't let you throw rice out after a wedding because the birds eat it, and it's dry rice, and they eat it, and it explodes in their stomach too. It all swells up.
All this time I thought I was doing the right thing.
I know.
Vinegar. This is from Christy. Vinegar, since we switched to using vinegar or water solution for mopping the floors and cleaning the counters, our ant problem has vanished. Of course, I'm a huge vinegar person. I make all of my own salad dressing with balsamic
vinegar.
And I was watching a show last night. It told me about everything I was doing wrong. But anyway, I like it. Now, this is one that I don't get. She uses equal.
With tea leaves.
We killed our ants by mixing equal packets with apple juice. It is a neurotoxin to the ants. Scary that people put this in their coffee. Well, I don't put the apple juice in my coffee, and I don't really use equal. I used to, but thank you very much for those solutions, natural solutions to ants. My friend Randy Hargrave says, let's save our planet. Do it. Friends at Hargrave Foundation Repair, a call today, 972-443415 for all your foundation needs. We love Randy.
He's a level-headed guy.
Yeah, he's a level-headed. Jeez. We'll have to. He'll appreciate that.
Yeah,
he'll appreciate that. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have a few minutes to close out this half hour, and then we're going to get into the real juicy stuff for the show, which is going to be these laws what these lawmakers are doing to us.
I'm going back to the Wild West.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more Remodel Revolution Radio. Don't go away. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close, give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordor.com. Your home was not built to be remodeled. That's why you need an experienced and honest contractor for all your remodeling needs. With over 35 years remodeling and building homes, I have the knowledge to help guide you through the process. Are you thinking of a room addition, a kitchen upgrade, or is it simply time to freshen up that tired old house? Our team of designers and architects are ready to get started with your dream, whether it's one room or the entire house. Fully licensed and insured, we have maintained an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau by being honest and trustworthy. So give me a call at 469-446-8508 or visit me at alex@alexguthrie.net when you're planning your next remodel or your new home project. That's Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. alex@alexguthrie.net, 469-446-8508. Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Steve Lauten, and we're talking of all things remodeling and construction, and it is like the AC get the AC ready time of year. So locally in North Texas, it's been pretty moderate. We've had really a moderate spring. It hasn't been extremely hot, but it's getting extremely humid.
Yes, and air conditioners actually work a lot harder to remove moisture and humidity out of your home than
It's not all
to cool.
To cool it. You control the humidity.
Well, you can't lower the temperature in the house until you lower the humidity. And it's just like the stuff you're taught back in science, amount of energy it takes to convert vapor to a liquid. is a lot more than just they change the temperature.
Man, that's serious science there.
It is. That's why you got that drain line on your cooling coil.
Well, and so there's we've got a few minutes in this short little segment right here. What are 2 or 3 of the first things that you would tell someone to do right now? What do you look at?
Change your filter.
Okay.
I mean, that's something that's a no-brainer, and you should at least check it every month. If you just have 1-inch filters, change them every month.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is get your system checked professionally. Got to make sure the refrigerant's right, the condensing coil's clean, and it's ready to go. No loose wires, things like that.
It can't run to its maximum potential if you don't keep up with all these little parts.
Exactly, because most people don't understand. All we're doing is moving the heat that's inside your home to outdoors. It's absorbed through the cooling coil and is rejected outdoors through the condenser coil. Either one of those coils is dirty, is less efficient.
Yeah.
Is low on refrigerant, is less efficient. And the other thing is leaking ducts. Most houses, we actually, when we run load calculation, we allow for about 25 to 30% duct leakage.
It's
Shouldn't
amazing.
have it,
It's
but
amazing.
you do.
Yeah.
So
And
your air conditioning,
it's
your attic.
preventable. It's repairable.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
we have in the last, I don't know, they may have always been here, but we started really going into them probably 20 years ago, but really getting into it the last, I don't know, 15 years.
10 to 15.
And part of it was updating the code requirements, and we're forced us to, but part of it is that we've got sealants now that we can use to seal the boots of the ductwork and seal the joints, and where we used to use tape. We don't use tape anymore. We use a liquid sealant.
We use tape first, and then we paint the mastic on top of it.
And it's an epoxy, or it's
a water-based product, so it's not harmful.
Uh-huh.
And it just it dries hard and keeps it sealed forever that way.
Yeah, and one of the ways that I detect when I walk in a house, if there's duct leakage, I can smell it in the air. And when you live in the house, you kind of get used to it.
Yeah, and a good way to find out if you've got duct leakage, if your carpet's always dirty around the perimeter of the house, that means that it's pulling air in from outside, and your duct is leaking probably up in the attic. It's trying to find a way to get that air back. And so it throws the inside of your house in negative pressure, and your carpet's acting as an air filter.
Interesting. And the other thing is, if you smell stale attic air, right? And then another way you can tell if you've got duct leakage or a system that's not filtering properly is you can feel it on your skin. You can feel it's clammy, kind of.
You can see it on your dining room table.
Well, you can see it too.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, for sure.
Amazing how many people call us and ask if we do duct cleaning, which we do. But I always ask them, what makes you think your ducts need to be cleaned? And it's almost always, my house is dusty. Yeah. Cleaning the ducts doesn't make or fix this.
The dust is a symptom of the problem.
Yes.
It's not.
Sealing the ducts is what needs to be done.
Right. And so some of these things, there's maybe some minor things that if you're really handy, like cleaning out the drain from the emergency overflow pan, you can do stuff like that. Of course, changing your ELF. There's certain things that you can do. But all in all, it's just best to have a professional come out and check that system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll guarantee them that it's going to save on their utility bill.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have Scott Ridell. We're going to talk law. We'll be right back. You're listening to Remodel Revolution Radio. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordor.com. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls? Doors that won't close? Give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Your home was not built to be remodeled. That's why you need an experienced and honest contractor for all your remodeling needs. With over 35 years remodeling and building homes, I have the knowledge to help guide you through the process. Are you thinking of a room addition, a kitchen upgrade, or is it simply time to freshen up that tired old house? Our team of designers and architects are ready to get started with your dream, whether it's one room or the entire house. Fully licensed and insured, we have maintained an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau by being honest and trustworthy. So give me a call at 469-446-8508 or visit me at alex@alexguthrie.net when you're planning your next remodel or your new home project. That's Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. alex@alexguthrie.net, 469-446-8508. Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Steve Lauten. The phone lines are open. 800-281-8255, 800-281-8255. That's 800-281-TALK in case you read your phone instead of look at the numbers.
I'm glad you varied from the script and didn't call me your old friend. Instead of a good friend.
My old friend that I've known for a long time.
Yes. old.
You can call from, excuse me, you can call from anywhere in the world and it's free. I really want to hear from you today. So give us a call at 800-281-8255. and make a stranger smile today. That is our theme for the day. I have on the line with us my number one plumber, maybe in Dallas for all I.
One and two, right?
Yeah. He is an incredible plumber. Has a large company. Scott and I have been working together for many years. I don't have anybody else do my projects because I have to have a licensed, insured, trained professional plumber on my jobs. That's what I want.
And
Hello, Mr. Scott Ridell. How are you?
Good morning. Thank y'all for having me, man.
Hey, it's great to have you. And one of the main reason I wanted to get you here today is to get your response to this. The Texas Board of Plumbing Examiners has flushed down the drain this week when legislatures decided to shutter the agency September 1st, 2019. By inaction, lawmakers effectively abolished the regulatory agency to the licensing laws it enforces. This is from CBS News, incidentally. After September 1st, state law will not require plumbers to renew their licenses, pursue continuing education, or carry commercial general liability insurance if they operate a business. And a quote from one plumbing contractor, Joiner Plumbing, says, "Have they lost their minds?" And that was kind of my response, and I think anybody in the business kind of felt the same way about it. But Joiner and others, and maybe Scott, I don't know, I haven't asked him, sent the governor a message and said, you need to have a special session to take care of this. And the governor tweeted back and said, "See you in 2 years. No special session." Really? You've got to be kidding me. So eliminating this board means that no government agency will be able to collect or investigate complaints about plumbers. Nobody is regulating them at the state level. Under current law, plumbers need to complete a minimum of 4,000 hours of on-the-job training in order to perform work in someone's home. Abolishing the oversight board means plumbers can do the same without any training.
Somebody can call themselves a plumber with no is.
And here's a quote from somebody. We went from the strictest state in the U.S. to being unregulated. Okay. So, Scott, are you going to form a division of your company that's called the Unregulated Plumbing Division?
You know, we really don't know what to do. I mean, this is going to be a disaster, I think. You know, and it just goes to show you what money in politics can do to something. I mean, this is, you know, like you said, the greatest regulated trade that we've had here, and now we're, you know, nothing. I mean, it's definitely going to be a disaster. I mean, as it is, you know, we fight out there every day competing with guys that are running illegal and putting guys in trucks with no license, and you know, now there's going to be no remorse for that. In my opinion, they're probably going to put it on the shoulders of the cities to regulate it. Which you talk to any inspector, especially in Dallas, the amount of inspections they have on them, they're doing good to just have time to drive by the job, much less get out of their car and go in and inspect the job. So
right,
they're not going to have time to, and they don't have the manpower or the money to police this and ensure that, you know, you've got qualified people on the job. But, you know, reading this letter from the Texas State Board, there's not going to be any license, you know. So, you know, somebody like myself, I mean, I've been plumbing for 41 years and held a master for 34 years. And it took a lot of work and studying and training to be able to acquire a license. And now just anybody can get and say they're a plumber. It's just ridiculous.
So let's talk real quick about kind of give us a brief description of what it takes to be a plumber on one of your trucks. What do you require of your people?
Most of our guys, we started out as apprentice, and then, you have to apply for apprentice license, and go through background checks and all that to make sure you're not a criminal, make sure that you're qualified, you don't have a criminal background. And if you do, then, the state board has to review it and figure out if you would be acceptable or not. And then, it starts there. And then, after so many hours of a apprentice, you can become either a journeyman or a tradesman by going to Austin and taking a test, which is not a real easy test. You do a hands-on test, shop work, and you have to actually show that you can plumb a house and
water. That water doesn't go uphill.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And other things.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of training that goes into it, and a lot of testing and stuff to ensure that you're qualified to be a plumber. That's, here recently they changed it for you can have a tradesman, where they're not able to do commercial work. So, I thought that was a good deal, especially since there's a shortage of plumbers in the industries, with all the extra catastrophes we had in Houston and, throughout Texas, and with the construction boom, there's just been a shortage, and the government is only giving the state board half of the money that they receive for licensing and fines, and the state board has been telling them they need more money, to operate more efficiently, and they hadn't received it. So, last I heard, they were talking about the TDLR was going to take it over, but I don't know if that's even going to happen now or not. But even TDLR said, when they took it over, they were going to need all the money for, the first 3 or 4 years, and then they're going to get the half the money back, which,
that's going to happen and with interest, I'm sure, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I'm concerned about, I've always been concerned about on all of my houses that I do and houses I live in, is fire. And one of the things that I'm wondering, when you have a special crew that just does gas work, do they get special training for that? Is that when we're talking about plumbers, we're talking about not just water and sewer, but we're talking about gas. And that's a huge deal.
Kind of falls under the pipe fitting category.
Uh-huh. So Scott,
Right.
do you have to specially train people to do gas work?
Yes. And that's, you don't want any mistakes in anything really, but what I always tell my guys is a leak from a water pipe or a sewer is not going to necessarily kill somebody, but you have that threat of endangering a life if the gas system is not perfect. So you got to ensure, that the gas system is perfect, and we do that. So.
Yeah, and so I know that over the years that Steve and you and I, we've all been doing this all of our lives. So we've got lots of stories to tell. But I just did a house, and I had of course Ridell come out there because I uncovered some plumbing that I had Ridell come out anyway. But one of the reasons that I had your guys come out, Scott, is because I uncovered some plumbing in a bathroom that the owner had let a unlicensed guy convince him he could do. I can do this. It's no problem. And we uncover a drain that was under a shower, and I have pictures of it. It's on my Facebook, that had completely become uncoupled and was completely wrong. Everything about it was bad. And if this homeowner if I had not done this, and I literally had to jackhammer out the shower pan and everything, get it out of there because it was done so bad, that if they had used the shower, if I had not done what I did, followed my instincts from just like the three of us do, then when they took a shower, the water would have drained under the shower into the dirt from that shower. And these are the kind of things that you're paying a professional to do. I mean, these are the things that you pay Scott's company or my company or Steve's company to come out and have the people that do things right.
There's no question about what you're saying, Alex. The thing that concerns me the most is there's the qualification aspects of the license, but then there's the public safety aspect of the license. And as Scott has said, air conditioning and electrical also have the same rules. You have to criminally background check your employees, because do you want somebody that's been involved in theft or sexual assault?
God knows what. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of risks there. And now
in your home.
Yes, but now there's no requirement whatsoever that anybody is background checked to do plumbing work. It defies common sense. A second aspect is they're no longer required to be insured.
That to me
they could ruin your house, blow it up, burn it down, whatever.
And I think that's going to end. That's going to come back to the lending institutions, the insurance companies, the homeowner. There's a lot of people that are going to have to say, well, we're not going to allow this person to work here if they're not insured. I mean, I have a standing rule on my projects. You're not insured, you're not invited. Yeah,
absolutely.
Do what you need to do to protect me and my client. And so, Scott, one of the things that people have to realize with all of this is that water can be just as dangerous as anything if it's escaping under the house through you can get a sick house. You can get a lot of problems.
Water and fire is a disaster in a house. You know, a lot of people don't realize what water damage can do to your home until they have it. And man, if you don't have somebody qualified installing your plumbing system, you're really looking at an accident waiting to happen.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Something else that just baffles me is this sunset commission is an automatic thing that happens every 10 years. There's been a lot of discussion, as Scott mentioned, of moving the Texas Plumbing Board operations under the umbrella of the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, who oversees electricians and air conditioning contractors. And, I really like the Texas State Plumbing Examiners Board, but, is regulated by the state too. So getting it all under one umbrella would have been not a bad thing.
If they had done it.
Yeah. Well, and that's my whole point here is that this has been known for several years. This was coming up, and it's like everybody just put blinders on and ignored it. And
I'm deeply skeptical when these things happen, always, when it involves government. I don't really know what people are up to. I don't really trust politicians that much. I don't trust their motivations ever. And so, and this is particularly egregious, what has happened to the people of this state.
So, Scott, do you have any idea how you're going to try to represent your company to the public when this law goes away in September?
I really don't. I was talking to Alex about it yesterday.
Scott, hang on 1 second, Scott. We're going to have to take a quick break. Will you hang on with us and stay with us to the end? Awesome. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Remodel Revolution Radio. We're talking politics. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close? Give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordoor.com. Your home was not built to be remodeled. That's why you need an experienced and honest contractor for all your remodeling needs. With over 35 years remodeling and building homes, I have the knowledge to help guide you through the process. Are you thinking of a room addition, a kitchen upgrade, or is it simply time to freshen up that tired old house? Our team of designers and architects are ready to get started with your dream, whether it's one room or the entire house. Fully licensed and insured, we have maintained an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau by being honest and trustworthy. So give me a call at 469-446-8508 or visit me at alex@alexguthrie.net when you're planning your next remodel or your new home project. That's Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. alex@alexguthrie.net, 469-446-8508. Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. We have our good friend, Mr. Scott Ridell. I have my other very good friend, Mr. Steve Lauten, sitting next to me here. He's the, if you're watching this on Facebook Live, he's the pretty guy. I'm just the, I'm the man in black. And we don't know what Scott looks like because he's hiding somewhere.
Yeah.
So the question we kind of left the last segment with was, what are you going to do, Scott, to kind of deal with this in your company? Because this is going to be a big problem.
Yeah, it is. It's a huge problem. And I getting off the subject a little bit, I mean, if you're going to abolish something you need to have, especially as important as this is, you know, regulating the plumbing of people's health, et cetera. You know, you have to have something in place. And if they're shutting the board down in 3 months, there's no way anybody can develop anything in 3 months to ensure that, you know, everybody's licensed and qualified to do these jobs and they have insurance, you know, and they're not criminals, et cetera. But, you know, what do you do? Advertise your company as, oh, okay, we were licensed before.
We used to be.
I don't know how you do that. It's pretty crazy, really.
I guess we all have to, you know, it's funny because it's not funny, but
Not at all.
one of the ways that I sell my company is I tell people everybody's licensed. I only use licensed and insured people.
We follow the law.
And I guess I have to keep it real general now because you can't get a license. You will not be able to get a licensed plumber.
Well, I think the key to this whole thing getting fixed is going to be the public in general
rising up
and pushing back against it, saying, wait a minute. And hopefully the plumbers create some kind of campaign to get people involved in helping them show their dissatisfaction to the state.
This is just a disaster in the making, like Scott says. And I know I can tell you because in my line of work, we're not licensed. The builders are not licensed. The remodelers are not licensed. We should be insured. That's not even required. It's the same thing. And the people that are making the most money out of it are the attorneys that are suing us.
Yeah.
Because for good reason, you know.
Exactly. You know, I kind of feel like it's all, you know, from money and you've got guys out there that are having difficulties, you know, finding plumbers, and this is just a way to shortcut it where, you know, and I'm sure it's going to flood the market with what they're going to call plumbers. But, you know, to me, it's going to lower wages and everything else.
Well, it is because your competition is going to be a pickup truck. That's your competition.
Right.
But I think third-party inspection is going to be a big business coming up because I think that the smart thing to do, and I recommend this to people all the time for various things, get a third-party inspector out there, which is insane. I mean, why should you have to do that? The city inspector cannot pick up everything that's done on a project. It's impossible. There's too many things that they have to look at.
Well, let's be honest here. Before this law went away, there was still tons of people doing unlicensed work. That's not just plumbing. That's air conditioning, electrical.
Absolutely.
And so all this does is exacerbate the problem and make it that much worse. And cities as it is are not geared up. All they're doing is looking at it from a safety perspective. They're not really doing anything to make sure it's going to work right.
Yeah. Well, they couldn't possibly do that. They don't have the resources for that.
I mean, there's no way for the cities to really help in this regard.
I guess, Scott, you just have to tell them you're insured. That's what you got left. We're insured.
Yeah.
Scott, we really appreciate having you on today. Really appreciate you spending time with us this morning. We'll continue to touch base on this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
just to, you know, just to let y'all know, the plumbers are trying to get up a rally at the Texas Capitol June 14th at 11 a.m.
Awesome.
Thanks, buddy. Thank you. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, you can catch us on Facebook Live. You're listening to Remodel Revolution Radio. We'll be right back.
It's time for Remodel Revolution Radio. And now, an award-winning contractor with over 40 years' experience. Here is Alex Guthrie.
Welcome to another episode of Remodel Revolution Radio. I'm your host, Alex Guthrie, and I have with me today my very good friend, Mr. Steve Lauten, as my co-host today. He agreed to. I called him at midnight last night, and he just had a fight with his wife, and she said, yeah, go ahead.
Get out.
He was here at 6 this morning in his car asleep.
Yep.
I know when to call. Hey, the phone lines are open. If you if you're watching on Facebook and you want to talk to us live, give us a call. 800-281-8255, 800-281-8255. You can call from anywhere in the world and it's free. I will put the quarter in. Don't worry about it. Just give us a call. Really want to hear from you. 800-281-8255. And our theme today is Make a Stranger Smile Today. Our theme from now on is going to be happy things. Our theme last week was Make Happiness Your Medicine. Because happiness is the cure. Yeah.
Certainly makes it better.
Absolutely. I live in a alternate universe. Everything's happy.
I've always wondered that. You're from a different planet, aren't you?
No. Listen, the aliens landed in Austin, Texas, and started running our government. That's what happened. In the news, more than 7,000 robots to take on construction work by 2025. The author of this article is Jen Goodman. I'm not exactly sure. I can't remember where I found it. It was published a week or so ago. A growing number of construction companies are incorporating robots to solve labor shortages and reap the benefits of improved speed, efficiency, safety, profits, according to a new report. Robots are beginning to make their way into a variety of construction tasks, which will change the way the industry operates, says the Construction and Demolition Robots report from market intelligence, from the market intelligence firm Tractica. The largest market will be for robot assistants used in construction sites, followed by infrastructure robots for demolition, site prep and road building, structure robots such as bricklayers, welders, and 3D concrete printers, and finishing robots, which perform tasks such as drilling, drywall installation, cleaning, and painting.
Yeah, I saw a while back, and I was on the show with you on the drywall robot.
Picking it up.
Yeah.
Like, what's that movie?
There's a bunch of them.
Terminator,
iRobot.
The report forecasts that revenue for suppliers will increase from $22.7 million in 2018 to $226 million annually by 2015. During that period, more than 7,000 construction robots will be deployed to address a variety of construction and demolition tasks. Now, here is the insight part of this article. This is this section in this magazine is called The Dive. Although the construction industry has historically resisted automation, a nationwide shortage of skilled labor may push U.S. firms to consider artificial intelligence to fill the gap. The technology is rapidly advancing, with robots being employed to hang drywall, weld, and lay bricks. Now, here's the question I've got. This is the big questions come up. I read about it everywhere. Are the robots going to go to McDonald's on their lunch break and order from the robot
that makes the hamburgers? Yes.
I mean, do they have a telepathic thing going here?
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Yeah.
And are the robots going to whistle at the girls walking down the sidewalk? The bricklayer
robots.
robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girl robots. I saw a story on TV. I was just thinking about that. That's kind of funny, really. The robot doing whatever he does to make that girl robot turn around. I saw a story on the news about Amazon has a robot. I think it's Amazon or FedEx, one of them. Comes out of the back of the van, takes the box, walks it down the sidewalk. There's a bicycle in the way, so it walks around the bicycle, walks up a couple of steps, goes up the sidewalk, sets a box on the front porch. It was a real video. Yeah. And I'm thinking about all these movies I've watched growing up about the robots taking over the world. And I'm like, wow, it's happening.
It's certainly possible. But the thing that is missing is how much does that robot cost and how effective is it?
That's only the question now.
Right. It's a matter of time. I understand that.
Right.
But till they get the cost of these robots down quite a bit, I think you're going to still have a human element.
Absolutely. But it is counterproductive from a workforce standpoint to have, I'm not saying that I'm not anti-robot yet. I mean, Terminator was one of my favorite movies. So,
well, the robot aspect of things comes into play is robots don't ask for a pay raise.
That's right. And they don't need time off to have kids and
or call
they never
sick.
Get the flu. Yeah. They don't get hung over.
Yeah.
They get thrown in jail.
So certainly some reliability comes into play there.
This segment is brought to us by Total Air and Heat. Give Steve Lauten, Steve and Justin a call at 972-881-0020 or contact them at totalair.com for all your air conditioning needs. And tell them Alex made you do it for a Home Depot $25 gift card, promo code, Remodel Radio. Forgot to tell you about that, didn't I?
It's okay. It's one of those kind of things I'm kind of used to hanging out with you. Oh, by the way,
Steve. Attention, California contractors, start familiarizing yourself with solar. California remodelers. This is by James F. McClister, and he wrote this short little piece in 7 months. All new homes in California will require a solar power system as dictated by the state's 2019 Building Energy Efficiency Standards for Residential and Non-Residential Buildings. Good Lord, that's a long title. It's the most recent update in a series of codes aimed at bringing all new California homes to zero net energy use by next year. As the requirement states, all low-rise residential buildings shall have a photovoltaic system, meeting the minimum qualification requirements as specified by blah, 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 with annual electrical output equal to or greater than the dwelling's annual electrical usage. While this will be most immediately significant for remodelers who double as custom home builders, which all remodelers do, sadly. Actually, it's the bad part is when the home builder doubles as a remodeler. The long-term effect will be more remodelers and exterior replacement contractors, especially roofers, encountering solar power systems on job sites.
So what's your thoughts on the state of California requiring this, even though it can't pay for itself?
Even though thousands of people live in tents along the streets because they can't afford a home.
Imagine that.
But we're going to just tack on another $10, $12, $15, $20,000 to a house to meet this code, which could be done with solar farms, but we have a NIMBY attitude in California, not in my backyard. And so no one wants to put a solar farm up because it's going to cover some dirt. So let's just put it on the people.
And on top of that, the real issue is state of California keeps running out of energy because they won't allow any power plants to be built
Mm-hmm.
in the state.
They,
And so
they
they depend
import
on
all of their energy
on their
Mhm.
grid, and that's why California has brownouts all the time.
Mhm. I think that I and this is just my personal feeling, and most people that are independent people like you and I are feel the same way. I really am very resistant always to government intrusion. I don't mind government recommendations, government support. I think there's a role there for sure. I think there's a licensing role, like we've been talking about, where they've sunsetted the licensing board for plumbers in the state of Texas. It's insane. That is a service that protects homeowners. It's a safety issue. It's a big time safety issue. And people like you and I that are in existing dwellings every day, and we see the results of unskilled, sometimes less than honest people, but people that do things wrong. And then we get the phone call, right? So that's a long-winded way of saying I agree that there's a place for some regulation and some interaction with state agencies, but to come in and demand to put into law that you have to have even retrofitted on an existing home. Who can afford that?
Well, California's already got all these laws that relate to air conditioning and what you have to do if you're going to replace the system. So what's now going on is a bunch of illegal work, or you have homeowners that choose not to replace their system.
You force an underground, a black market is what you do.
Yes, absolutely.
You force it to
saying.
happen.
Yes.
And so you have, and that's what's going to happen here. The same thing will happen here. I mean, it already is happening. We know that's happening. That's what we keep talking about. Even though we've had the highest regulated plumbing industry in the United States, right here in the state of Texas, and all of a sudden somebody in their infinite stupidity says, we don't need that anymore. We need more plumbers. So let's deregulate it so more idiots can be plumbers.
Absolutely.
That seems to be the
I'm
attitude.
the new sheriff in town.
I'm a new sheriff with no bullets in my gun is what I am.
Barney Fife.
And so the idea that the state comes in and says you have to do now, I don't think that would really go over very well in this state. I don't think that
The solar requirement.
Any requirement like
Yeah.
I mean, there's obvious requirements for obvious. I had a friend of mine recently who's a city manager of a small town in East Texas. He goes, "Why don't you move out here and become a building inspector?" And I said, "You've got to be kidding. Do I get hazard pay or like combat pay or something? Because these are rural areas that have never traditionally had regulations imposed on them.
If you don't pass me, I'm going to shoot you.
I would have to wear a badge and a 45 on my hip. Are you kidding me? You're listening to Remodel Revolution Radio. We're going to take a quick break. I'm here with my good friend Steve Lauten. We'll be right back. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordor.com. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close, give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Your home was not built to be remodeled. That's why you need an experienced and honest contractor for all your remodeling needs. With over 35 years remodeling and building homes, I have the knowledge to help guide you through the process. Are you thinking of a room addition, a kitchen upgrade, or is it simply time to freshen up that tired old house? Our team of designers and architects are ready to get started with your dream, whether it's one room or the entire house. Fully licensed and insured, we have maintained an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau by being honest and trustworthy. So give me a call at 469-446-8508 or visit me at alex@alexguthrie.net when you're planning your next remodel or your new home project. That's Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. alex@alexguthrie.net, 469-446-8508. Welcome back to Remodel Revolution Radio. I'm here with my good friend, Mr. Steve Lauten. We're talking about, it's been kind of a deep day, conversation-wise, because of all these things that are happening. But
sobering, very sobering.
I think we need to have these discussions. I do.
Absolutely.
And so one of the things that you and I were talking about during the break is that also in California, which lots of odd things are happening. Tell us about the refrigerant change overall, what's going on, and then what California's doing with it.
Today, the main refrigerant used.
Now we're talking about an air conditioning system.
Yeah, residential air conditioning system is what's called R410A. Used to be Freon or refrigerant 22. That went away because of the ozone layer. Now refrigerant 410A is
So Freon, let me back up. Freon
it's just a name.
was a brand name
Yes.
of a refrigerant.
Yes.
And then we changed to a new refrigerant in the 90s.
It went into law in around 2000 that R22 units were phased out.
Okay.
But
And that was to deal with the ozone because it was bad for the ozone. Okay.
Ozone layer, right. And now refrigerant R410A is bad for the carbon layer.
So 410A is what they replaced R22 with.
Yes.
And we've been using it and kind of converting over to it for several years, many years.
Yeah, around 2010, I'm pretty sure, is when equipment that uses 410A had to be phased out where you couldn't make it anymore.
I see.
There was a grace period where you could still sell it for a couple of years, and now everything.
They ran out of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
and now it's R410A.
Yeah.
Well, R410A is part of the Kigali protocol, conference in Japan, was where they came up with a phase out schedule for R410A.
So the new stuff's being phased out, and then now we have yet another product. Yeah. And what's it called?
There's a lot of different names, and there hasn't been one specific one that's been selected. Like Carrier's committed to one. Can't remember what the name of it is, but the reality of it is this new refrigerant contains propane.
We'll just call it flammable.
Yeah. Flammable refrigerant. And the insane thing
propane.
Propane is
like I cook my steak with.
Yes. Your air conditioner can also be a gas grill.
Or a bomb.
Yeah. And here's the part that hasn't been figured out yet. You've got a unit that contains flammable refrigerant, and you've got a gas furnace in a basement.
Next to each other.
Or an attic.
Or the same.
Yeah, it's connected.
It's the same box.
Or in an attic next to a gas furnace that has an open flame. And then what happens?
Or water heater or whatever.
Well, this just brings up that California, like you just discussed, has mandated that all homes after a certain date have to be solar capable or actually have solar on it. Now, California has made the decision that they're also going to mandate
flammable coolant.
They're not mandating the flammable refrigerant. What they're doing, though, is phasing out
forcing it
410A units in just a couple of years.
Wow.
Without any.
I mean, so we have to have a solar panel on each house or solar system on each house. And then now they're gonna force the old systems out. So you're gonna basically replace a system or replace the coolant in the system.
You can't replace a system that uses 410A.
You can?
Cannot.
You cannot.
That's what they're going to regulate.
Oh.
Yeah. So you can't use anywhere else in the U.S. You can still use it, but not in California.
So we're going to now have a flammable part of. Now, what is the first thing that you check when someone tells you their system's not cooling?
The refrigerant.
And you, because sometimes
it's not cooling well.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, why would it cause it not? It could have a leak.
Yes.
It could have a little pinhole leak because I get them.
Yeah.
Little solder joint.
Or the metal deteriorates.
So it's just spraying that.
Yeah, right in front of the
propane.
Yeah.
Spraying the propane right to the furnace.
And the industry hasn't come up with any solution to this either.
What a clever idea this is. I love it. I'm going to become a fireman. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, more Remodel Revolution Radio. Don't go away. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close, give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest techniques and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance helical pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordor.com. Your home was not built to be remodeled. That's why you need an experienced and honest contractor for all your remodeling needs. With over 35 years remodeling and building homes, I have the knowledge to help guide you through the process. Are you thinking of a room addition, a kitchen upgrade, or is it simply time to freshen up that tired old house? Our team of designers and architects are ready to get started with your dream, whether it's one room or the entire house. Fully licensed and insured, we have maintained an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau by being honest and trustworthy. So give me a call at 469-446-8508 or visit me at alex@alexguthrie.net when you're planning your next remodel or your new home project. That's Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. alex@alexguthrie.net, 469-446-8508. You know, you could design a air conditioning system that's like an outdoor unit that you could use the coolant as fuel for the barbecue grill.
You could.
Yeah, I'm sure they
Let's
would,
have a tank cook,
but they
up
may
there,
outlaw
propane tank.
outdoor cooking. That's next.
Honestly, I have predicted that the possibility exists with this new refrigerant that we create an outdoor unit that instead of pumping refrigerant through pipes into the house to cool the house down, that you make the outdoor unit a chiller so it circulates chill water
Mm-hmm.
to the indoors to help cool the house down. And that way, if it has a refrigerant leak, it all leaks outdoors.
I think there's this is very interesting. It's scary. The idea that we're introducing this kind of a problem into homes and we're coding it. It's like, this is our new code. This is what we have to use.
The crazy thing is the manufacturers really have been left without any alternatives.
Yeah, but guess who the attorneys are going to go after first?
Absolutely.
The
They're going
guys
to go
with
after
the money.
contractors.
They're
They're going to go after me.
Oh, yeah. No, they're carpet bomb us for sure.
Yeah.
But the real money isn't in my bank account. The real money is the people that I'm buying it from.
Yeah.
That are the refrigerant from.
Yeah.
That's where the money's at. That's where they're going to go. And so it's almost like this. I don't know how long they've been talking about this or anything, but it looks to me almost like it's just a reaction to a problem.
We've been talking about it for probably 10 years, being on the Air Conditioning Contractors of America's board of directors. We've been talking to the manufacturers of air conditioning equipment and refrigerant, distributors. I mean, all the industry partners have been involved in this in trying to come up with a solution. Personally, I've suggested we look at going back to refrigerant 22 because it was an incredible refrigerant. It wasn't flammable, and we don't have a problem with the ozone layer anymore. And in a sealed system that doesn't leak,
we've got better systems than we had when we were. I mean, everything's changing in this industry to mostly for the good.
It is. And R410A is a great refrigerant, but it's not as good as 22.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about a flammable refrigerant. And here's the thing. There's a term called azeotropic. And what that means is when you make this refrigerant, is it a blend that's bonded together where if it leaks out the same? R22 was azeotropic. R410A is not. It's a blend, and that blend can leak faster on one part of it than the other. So we're in a situation today where if more than half the refrigerant in the system leaks out, you're supposed to take all the refrigerant out and start over.
Because it's not balanced.
The blend is not balanced anymore because part of it can leak at a faster rate than the rest of it. And so now we have a new
refrigerant, and the first thing that's going to leak out with the new refrigerant is propane gas.
I mean, I honestly feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone.
No kidding. Speaking of Twilight Zone, give us a call, 800-281-8255 if you have any questions, concerns, comments.
So now we can talk about Sweden. They've got their act together at least a little bit. LA and San Francisco can't get rid of their trash.
We know where they can take it.
Yeah. Sweden's running out of trash. They're so efficient.
They'll probably even take the rats.
Yeah.
Sweden's recycling is so revolutionary, the country has run out of rubbish. Rubbish, I say. Sweden's recycling is they have all these recycle, they burn it. If I understood this right, I tried following this thing. It was late. They burn it and they convert it to fuel for heat. Now, they must have a center in a town that provides pipes or something to heat homes. I mean, it's not like a per house thing. It's a center.
Well, in Sweden, they do a lot of geothermal stuff too. Mm-hmm. But the interesting part is they're having to get rubbish from other countries.
Rubbish.
Because they're running out of their own rubbish. They need rubbish from other places.
I see a nice little business popping up here from the West Coast. And honestly, really, any Americans, we could keep Sweden warm for the next 200 years. And we could do it for free. I mean, they may not want things like the giant football sized rats I was reading about. I don't know. Maybe they want them too. I don't know. Says this is from the Independent. Sweden is so good at recycling that for several years it has imported rubbish from other countries to keep its recycling plants going. Less than 1% of Swedish household waste was sent to landfill last year and any year since 2011. Sweden was one of the first countries to implement a heavy tax on fossil fuels in 1991 and now sources almost half its electricity from renewables. Sweden is a top performer when it comes to sorting and recycling its waste and is in the rare situation of lacking garbage. Gosh, I can't even imagine. At its incineration centers, which that's why I'm assuming they just incinerate it, which produce enough electricity to supply 250,000 homes and heating for 950,000 homes. Now, that's only one small suburb in Dallas. So, Sweden.
It's like Plano and Richardson suburbs together, something like that.
I jumped on this because I had somebody send me an email or a respond to it that said, "Why are we not doing this here? What is the deal?" Well, the deal is we're not Sweden. The deal is that Sweden's a totally different, small little country that can control things that we can't. We're too big. We've got too many people. We have too many interests. It's far more complicated than snapping your finger and say, "Okay, let's just recycle everything." It doesn't work that easy. And we have a disposable society. Everything that we do, everything we use, bottles, Tupperware, everything is a soft plastic. Where when you and I grew up, everything was in jars. You could recycle.
Glass, yeah.
Right. It was all in glass. So you'd send back the milk jars. They would clean them, reuse them. Coke bottles. Remember those bottles?
Well, I'm not sure who it is. I think it could have been McDonald's that went to a paper straw policy with their cups still styrofoam and plastic, but now your straw collapses after a few minutes.
Right. What's the point? There's nothing worse than a straw that doesn't work properly.
Yeah.
I mean, could suck the teeth right out of your head, man.
Yep.
Over time, Sweden has implemented a cohesive national recycling policy so that even though private companies undertake most of the business of importing and burning waste, the energy goes into a national heating network to heat homes through the freezing Swedish winter. Well, good for Sweden. It ain't going to happen here. That
No.
I can tell you.
We got too many rats on Capitol Hill in government in general.
Too many rats.
Yeah.
Now, maybe we could send those rats over.
Yeah. Burn them.
Those rats. How to deal with your contractor. I thought that you would enjoy this today, Mr. Lauten.
Yes, sir.
Because when you and I are in a service business, we're in people's homes, and it can get tough. It can get tough. It can get stressful with the homeowner, with the client, and it can get stressful with the actually the people doing the work. They have feelings too.
And they have expectations.
And so,
absolutely.
I thought I would do a little just 10-point deal on how to deal with your contractor. For the time it takes to build or remodel your home, your contractor will be a very important part of your life. Here's a few tips to help keep your relationship healthy. Number 1, show respect for each other. It's a two-way street on respect.
So what you're really telling me is when you have a contractor in your home, you shouldn't call them stupid and degrade them.
Not to their face.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want when they leave, and you probably will. Number 2, be honest with your feelings. This is a hard deal because most of us don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Now, the older I get, the less I care.
You lose your filter.
I have no filter.
Right. My wife claims that on me too.
If you see my lip bleeding, it's because I bit it when I was trying not to say something. But you do have to be honest with your feelings on both sides of the equation. But there's always, I believe this has a lot to do with the internet, the way people treat each other now, because there's no physical contact. It's all like you get to this point where you're thinking, I can say anything to this person and they can't really reach out and rip my head off. All they can do is say something ugly and I can block them.
Yeah.
Well, I can hit block the person.
I mean, that's how
You just take a shot.
Teens start dating is via instant messenger now.
So you have to, when you're doing a remodel or building a house, you have to be able to have a conversation with your contractor, and the contractor needs to be able to have a conversation with you. Most of the problems that I see from people on these projects start when people don't communicate.
Yeah, it's a lack of communications. And it's really important for me with our customers to give a scope of work and set expectations up front as to what they can anticipate.
And this really does. So this is just advice from the contractor to those of you that are going to do a remodel or build a house. You need to be, and you can combine 1 and 2 here, respectfully be honest with each other, right? So I have gotten to, as I've been doing this for so many years, and I've been through so many situations with people where I spent years afraid to hurt anybody's feelings. I want to hurt their feeling. I didn't want to get them mad at me. I want everybody to be happy. I have found that it's better for me to be direct, but polite, honest, direct, and respectful, and try to be in touch with people's, pressure points and that kind of thing, because it happens. So I think being honest with your feelings respectfully is probably a good way to put that one. Number 3, be as available as you can, but set perimeters on time, including phone time and weekends. This is a pet peeve of mine. I'm always available to my clients. Sometimes they're not available to me when I need them. And I don't want to bug them. I don't call them on weekends. I don't call them at night. If I talk to you after 5 or 6 o'clock and you're my client, it's because we need to talk. It's not because I want to talk about how your day was. And if you call me on the weekends or after hours, I'm assuming that's why you're calling me, because there's a problem. So, but there are people, again, because on the internet, there's no time limit. You can send, I try and send, I don't mind sending emails at midnight, but I don't like texting people.
No.
Because they hear it go off on their phone. It wakes them up.
Be respectful.
Yeah. So I feel like, and I know that some people are starting to do this now, and I think it's really important that when you go into an agreement with your contractor, that you both have time parameters set. What days of the week and what hours of the day are we going to be available for each other? And that includes phone time. And are you available on weekends? If you call me on the weekend, I'm going to assume you got a problem. So don't do it.
Put it in writing too.
Oh yeah, that needs to go in writing. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up how to deal with your contractor. And with my good friend Steve Lauten. You're listening to Remodel Revolution Radio. Don't go away. So what does a garage door do besides enhance your home, protect your family, and secure your vehicles? Well, when you contact the pros at Windsor Door, you'll learn how a truly high-quality garage door company can make a difference. Insulated doors, carriage-style doors, steel and custom wood, Windsor Door has them all and much, much more. And nothing makes a garage door work better than a high-quality opener. That's why the folks at Windsor Door only use LiftMaster garage door openers. And it's no wonder LiftMaster is the #1 professionally installed garage door opener. Only LiftMaster has patented MyQ technology, which alerts you if you forget to close your garage door and lets you close it from anywhere, anytime with built-in Wi-Fi technology. It also has battery backup, so you can get in even when the power's out. So contact a Windsor Door dealer near you at windsordor.com. Alex Guthrie here for my friends at Total Air and Heat. Did you know a typical AC unit runs enough hours in a year equal to a car running 60,000 miles? Total Air and Heat recommends that you tune your system and have it safety checked every 6 months to ensure peak efficiency, proper operation, and increase the life of the system. Need a new air conditioning and heating system? No problem. Total Air and Heat can replace your equipment with the best equipment on the market today. Train. And you know it's hard to stop a train. So for the best heating and air conditioning contractors in North Dallas and Plano for the past 60 years, call my friends at Total Air and Heat, 972-881-0020. That's 972-881-0020. Or visit them online at totalair.com. Total Air and Heat. Some people think the only thing worse than calling the dentist is calling the foundation repairman. That's why I recommend Hargrave Foundation Repair. Cracks in the walls, doors that won't close, give the folks at Hargrave Foundation a call. Now, sometimes it's not the foundation at all. That's why you need an honest, proven company. You see, understanding the soils and weather is a must for a lifetime repair. Family owned and operated since 1968, Hargrave has seen it all. Hargrave Foundation Repair is fully licensed and insured, and their staff stays up to date on all the latest tech and advances. So call one of the last independently owned foundation companies in North Texas and the exclusive installer of the Chance Helical Pier system. Call Hargrave Foundation Repair at 972-442-3415. That's 972-442-3415. Hargrave Foundation Repair, 972-442-3415. Your home was not built to be remodeled. That's why you need an experienced and honest contractor for all your remodeling needs. With over 35 years remodeling, I have the knowledge to help guide you through the process. Are you thinking of a room addition, a kitchen upgrade, or is it simply time to freshen up that tired old house? Our team of designers and architects are ready to get started with your dream, whether it's one room or the entire house. Fully licensed and insured, we have maintained an A+ rated business bureau by being honest and trustworthy. So give me a call at 469-446-8508 or visit me at alex@alexguthrie.net when you're planning your next remodel or your new home project. That's Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. Alex Guthrie Construction, 469-446-8508. Alex@alexguthrie.net, 469-446-8508.
I'd like to see the foreman. Can you see the foreman here? You're the foreman? Yeah. Well, I need to see the plans then for this thing a very big mistake. Get the plans for me, please. Whoa, wait a second. These are wrong. What? These are wrong. What do you mean? These are wrong plans. What? These are plans. Old. These are the old plans.
Now back to Remodel Revolution Radio with a man who likes to build houses in the shape of a donut, Alex Guthrie.
Well,
Donut house.
A donut house.
I thought you like to eat donuts.
I do. That's why I built donut houses.
Take a bite out of this.
So we're talking about how to deal with, I'm here with my good friend Steve Lauten. We're talking about how to deal with your contractor. And this is these are some points I came up with one night. I guess maybe someone yelled at me. I don't know. And I thought, man, I need to tell these people how to be nice. And we're on number 4. And stay focused on what needs to be completed on your part to keep the project moving. And this is what I'm telling my clients. Don't don't forget, go pick your appliances out and if I tell you I need your appliances in 2 weeks, I need them in 2 weeks, not 2 months.
The day before.
We don't need to be piddle-paddling around
here. 2 weeks after you needed them.
Ask questions, but don't be a pest. Obviously, this has happened recently. If you have to be a pest, then something is not right. In other words, now my wife, is very good at asking me to do something once, right? It's like, do this. And I'm really good at saying, and turning right back to that hockey game, right?
Ooh.
Oh, no, it's bad. But then she knows how to get in. And the real story, we'll talk about my mom real quick. She used to call me and she'd say, I need so-and-so done in my house. And I'd say, well, I don't work for family.
Yeah.
I know better than that. And I would just kind of ignore, 2-3 weeks ago by, and she'd call me up and she'd say, listen, I just called this contractor and he's going to come over. And I just wanted to ask you a couple of things I should talk to him about. What are your and I go, okay, I'm on my way. So she knew how to not pester me, but how to get me.
Get some action.
Yeah, use some of that girl stuff.
Yeah.
To be realistic and understanding of his challenges and make him aware of yours. So when you're remodeling a house, you're remodeling a building that was not intended to be remodeled. They don't build a house to remodel. They build a house to be what it is. It's a challenge, everything you do.
And that's why we emphasize so much in advance that think about it when you're building a house and the things that are going to be with it forever, and make sure those as a minimum get done right, because you can always change your floors or countertops and stuff like that later. But ducts that run between floors, electrical that runs between floors, stuff like that, it's not accessible. All of those things are the most important up front.
So the point with this is that your your contractor has a lot of challenges on his or her hands to make your house conform to what you want them to do. But you also have to make them aware of your limitations, hours that people can be there, maybe it's something's bugging you that's going on every day. If you don't tell your contractor, they're not going to know.
What's wrong?
Don't wait until you're so mad about it that you're throwing things at them.
Yeah.
Just say, hey.
Asking your wife, what's wrong?
Yeah.
Right. Nothing.
Yeah. Your guys keep giving my animals McDonald's. What's up? What? They don't like, they like your dog.
I like feeding them hamburgers.
They keep feeding my parrot hot dogs. What's up with that? Communicate. Talk to each other. You have to talk to each other. If you're going to be doing one of these projects, particularly if you're living in the house, you got to communicate and be nice, be respectful. Remember that they have a life too. So if you feel like you have to have a discussion at 10 o'clock at night, don't be surprised if it doesn't go the way you thought it ought to go. And this is the hard one in remodeling. The customer is not always right. Things happen that no one can control. And so sometimes I have to remind people that I know this is what you thought was going to happen, but it didn't happen. This has been a great show. Thanks for being here.
It has been. I've really enjoyed it.
And Steve Lauten is always welcome to be here. You're always welcome to be here. We always have a lot of fun. Thanks for listening. Thanks, Greg Lindemood. Thanks, audience. Have a great week. Until next week, this is Remodel Revolution Radio. We're out of here.